Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Logan Witten.
And I'm Andrew Swanson. The College of Journalism is welcoming UNL's new interim chancellor.
But first, the results of the ASUN student election are in. That's our top story tonight.
This year's ASUN election is over. Horizons candidate Kurt Schneider will be the next UNL student body president, along with his vice president, Cassidy Bell. Schneider and Bell received 67% of the vote. Nexus executive candidates Kyan Casperson and Brett Fulton received 31%, and write-in candidate Rain Aurich received 2% of the vote.
Along with Horizon's executive win, they dominated across the entire ballot. Horizon won 32 Senate seats, all of the seats on the Committee for Fee Allocation, and all but one seat on the Grant Selections Committee.
Nexus won one Senate seat for the College of Law, which Horizon did not put a candidate forward for, and one seat on the Grant Selections Committee. The election results will be certified on Monday, and the winners will be sworn into office in April 15th during the Senate meeting in the Nebraska Union.
While ASUN celebrates additions to its student body, the College of Journalism is welcoming a new face. Nebraska Nightly's Sophie Farrell sat down with the college's new interim chancellor, Catherine Ankerson.
This is the first chance we get to hear from the interim chancellor, who is taking over after a controversial few months. If you recall, the 4 programs that were cut to save over $27 million and cost faculty positions. That is just one of the topics that interim chancellor Catherine Ankerson talked about when she sat down with me in this exclusive interview.
Logan. Sorry,
At kind of a difficult time for UNL. So how has your past experience in leadership in this university helped prepare you for this role you're stepping into?
That's a really good question. Thank you for asking it, Sophie. You know, I do have a long history with this university. I came here in 1996 as a faculty member and then was here for 15 years, left to be a department head and came back to be dean. And each of those experiences, leadership experiences as well as a faculty member, have really formed how I approach the leadership in general. But I think even more basic than that, my Clifton strengths, right? Learner, belief, achiever, futuristic, strategic, coupled with my architectural background, the design process, really looking at problems and listening and trying to identify them, and then multiple viable solutions. All of those meld together with my experiences to really have this be a leadership experience at just the right time, and hopefully as a help to UNL.
As someone who has served as a professor and as a dean, you're very student focused, and I can see that in the approach that you're taking. So what are some specific ways that you hope to improve student life for students here at UNL? So,
you know, we're constantly, whether it's student experience, whether it's faculty experience or staff experience, I think as a university, it's our responsibility, but it's also really an honor to be on this path of continuous improvement. I think nothing should be static, in my view. We're always questioning, trying to improve, and that's a continuous cycle. Yeah. And it takes all of us to do that.
For sure. After your time as interim chancellor, what impacts do you hope to have had on University of Nebraska-Lincoln?
I think the largest impact that I can have is to prepare us for the future. We need to make sure that we are questioning and prepared for what that future might hold, which might be a little bit different than it is right now, but it might not, right? So we just have to be open to that. So that openness is an impact that I hope I can bring without fear. Our faculty are preparing people for the future, for future jobs with the processes and literacies and proficiencies that are needed to go not only into that first job, but to really continue learning and to continue making an impact, because we know things will continue to change. And so my impact will be to make that even better, will be to help develop processes that are seamless, and so that they enable people to do their work in the best way, enable students to learn in the best way, so that we can focus on what matters so much to us, and that is preparing people for the future, helping invest in Nebraska, and continuing that legacy.
Thank you so much. I can say this on behalf of everyone at the college. We're so thankful that you joined us here at the College of Journalism today. It's so cool as a student to be able to see the upper level administration really connecting with us, and hearing how much you care makes me even prouder to be a student here, and proud to say that I am a University of Nebraska Lincoln student.
All right.
So
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you so much. If you would like to see a longer version of my interview with Interim Chancellor Ankerson, visit our Nebraska Nightly YouTube channel. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Sophie. Thankfully, the Chancellor was happy to embrace this rainy day for our interview and make the journey across campus. Nebraska Nightly forecaster Owen Snodgrass will have more for us. Owen?
That's right, and we're coming off kind of a chilly day with those winds in place and a foggy drizzle all throughout the day. Kind of made temperatures a little miserable, but I will say I'm thankful that we finally got some rain. But as we go into the overnight hours, those temperatures will continue to drop to about 30 degrees, a little bit below freezing, and those winds will linger around. And we go into Saturday, those temperatures will rebound, so we can get a little happy about that. But again, the winds will linger as we go throughout the weekend. Look at those statewide temperatures. It's about 40 across the board, except for up here in Norfolk and Chadron, 30 degrees, and then down in North Platte, McCook, and Kearney, got a little lucky there, 50 and 60s. Much more pleasant than what we have here in Lincoln. That's all for the weather. I have more for you after the break.
Coming up next,
We'll see how students are practicing their fire safety.
and get another look at the cloudy days to come.
Stick with us.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
As soon as I kicked one of my buddies in the head, I was like, yeah, we gotta go after that.
I take back what I said.
Hey, you done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
UNL students crawl and escape smoke during a simulated drill in Husker Hall this afternoon. UNL Facilities and Planning partnered with ASUN member Mason Ain to conduct the drill and increase overall fire safety. The drill was comprised of students from Greek Life, UNL Housing, and ASUN. During the drill, students were placed in groups of 2 while firefighters explained what to do during a fire. Outside the room, the hallway filled with simulated smoke and obstacles. Students were then expected to take the knowledge they learned to crawl and escape the smoke.
My feet for the first couple crawling steps, and I was like, and then everyone started yelling at me, and I was like, I gotta go. So I start booking it down the hallway, crawling as fast as I can. And I'm like, okay, real fire, my adrenaline started pumping, and I just decided to get out of there.
Firefighters use a thermal imager, a device to detect if people are still in a building during a fire to ensure the student's safety. Fire Inspector Rick Campos says facilities and planning expects to continue partnering with various student organizations for more drills like this one.
On Thursday, firefighters confirmed the last remaining fire in western Nebraska has now been contained. The fires burned more than 874,000 acres across the state. The Morrill Fire, burning 640,000 acres, is the largest recorded fire in Nebraska's history. Governor Pillen lifted the statewide burn ban following recent rains. Local fire departments are not yet issuing burn permits, as conditions remain a concern. In a Facebook post, the Grand Island Rural Fire Department stated, "Locally, there has not been enough precipitation to justify making burn permits available. We will post when burn permits are available again. We appreciate your patience." The statewide drought that caused these fires is now categorized as moderate. The new drought monitor released by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln shows that 98% of the state is in moderate drought or worse, a significant jump from 93% just 1 week ago. Despite the state lifting the ban, officials urge residents to check with their local fire departments for guidance on burn permit availability in their area.
Despite dry conditions recently, we have seen quite a bit of rain throughout the Lincoln area.
What is our weather looking like, Owen?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We finally got some precipitation in the area. But unfortunately, you can see here, this is the drought monitor that you guys were talking about, updated just Thursday. You can see across the state, some sort of severe to extreme drought across the majority of the state is especially bad across the panhandle there. Out here in Lincoln, Omaha area, eastern Nebraska, it's not as bad, but still some sort of drought across the entire state here. So we need the rain, right? And we look ahead in what we've gotten the past Thursday, Wednesday, we got some big rain, not too much across the panhandle where we have that severe drought, but out across eastern Nebraska, Lincoln, Omaha, right about an inch of rain, but up here near Norfolk and Sioux City, 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain. So much needed rain across those areas. We look here Saturday, Sunday, we're not going to see a good chance of rain there over the weekend. But as we look throughout the rest of the week, those chances do climb about 20s to 40, 51 on Thursday there. We can expect some sort of rain Thursday or Friday. We'll get more on that later, but definitely as we go throughout the work week, some sort of precipitation in the area. And as we wrap up the month of March, heading into April, it's nice to look back at what we had. And it was a warm March, for sure. We see across the board about 6 degrees or higher across every city. And Scotts Bluff, 10 degrees above average for the month. A very warm month once again. And we look forward at those 7-day forecasts here. Those temperatures will linger around the average for the most part. Thursday and Friday, though, we may see chance of rain for sure and potentially some storms. That's a little far out there to say for sure. But Wednesday might be your good day to get outside and enjoy the sun for sure. Andrew?
And Owen, those warmer temperatures are definitely something we felt a lot in March, and most recently we've been feeling a lot of this rain, and it seems like that'll keep going. Will western parts of Nebraska be able to enjoy that as well, that much needed rain?
Yeah, I think so. I think with those rain chances that we got Thursday and Friday, we got a good shot of most of the state getting some rain and helping alleviate that drought.
All right, thank you so much, Owen. Coming up next,
we'll see some of the changes that have occurred in the student union.
And an update on a fighter jet shot down over Iran.
Stick with us.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5% or 2 million tons was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln are noticing some big changes inside the student union. Popular dining spots like Imperial Palace, Subway, and Steak and Shake have quietly disappeared as construction takes over parts of the building.
Not having more opportunities and different locations to go eat at the union is quite annoying for how much money we pay, and I think people want different options besides just Chick-fil-A.
While renovations are underway, students say the lack of updates or a clear timeline leaves many wondering when or if their favorite spots will return. University officials have yet to release details on reopening dates or replacement options, leaving students searching for answers and new places to eat. For now, it's a waiting game of what the future of union dining will look like.
After years of debate in the legislature, this week marks a huge win for cannabis advocates in Nebraska. On Wednesday, Nebraska lawmakers passed Legislative Bill 1235, which gives the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission the ability to set fees and retain revenue. The Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission formed as a result of the ballot initiative 437 in November 2024. The bill provides commissioners with a yearly salary, sets up a state cash fund to be used for medical cannabis regulation, and requires background checks for applicants of cannabis establishment licenses. Senator John Kavanaugh introduced the bill, along with LB 933, which will protect medical practitioners who recommend medicinal cannabis options to patients. For more updates on these bills, visit nebraskalegislature.gov.
Multiple sources report that the Iranians shot down a U.S. fighter jet. A second aircraft has been hit as of about 20 minutes ago. Iranian state media released photos today of what it claims is the wreckage of the fighter jet, showing small pieces of what appears to be an F-15. The photos show a partial logo for U.S. Air Forces in Europe on an F-15 tail fin, and red and white striping from the top of the tail fin. Another piece of wreckage with the words "Caution, use only non-magnetic fasteners" appear to match a rear portion of an F-15. A source says that one of the two crew members on the downed jet has been rescued. U.S. forces are still looking for the other crew member. No other information is known about the second plane's whereabouts or the pilots.
Coming up next.
Fred Hoiberg wins AP Coach of the Year.
And the Husker softball game has been postponed.
Sports reporter Bobby Hessling will have the story with us after the break.
Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Oh my gosh, 50 questions? How am I supposed to do this?
Well, if you were built different, you could do it.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Bobby Hessling. The Associated Press named Nebraska head men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg Coach of the Year this morning. Hoiberg adds to his trophy case after he was named Big Ten Coach of the Year by the coaches earlier this season. This season, Hoiberg took the Cornhuskers to the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history after Nebraska had won their first ever NCAA tournament game, to add on to the most wins in a season in their existence at 28 wins this season.
This is as much fun as I've ever had coaching this game. I've been in it now for 15 years at the college and NBA level. And this group of guys, I knew from day one they had a chance to be special just because of their daily makeup and their approach. We never had any issue with them.
Nebraska softball game tonight against Rutgers has been postponed. They will play a straight doubleheader tomorrow. Game 1 will start at 1 p.m. and then Game 2 will be 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. Nebraska softball is ranked 8th in the softball rankings, and they have won 16 of their last 17 games, still searching to host a regional. Nebraska softball player Jordy Fromm was selected for the USA softball national team pool. USA Softball announced a list of 36 top softball athletes who can represent Team USA on the field. Fromm is just one of 7 current Division I athletes selected to the team. Nebraska baseball was also postponed tonight, and they will play 2 games tomorrow, just like softball. First game is still slated to start at 2 p.m., then Game 2 will start at 6 p.m. Husker baseball looking to stay hot after winning on Tuesday up at Creighton. They are winners in 18 of their last 19 ball games. Nebraska women's gymnastics season ended last night, losing in the Baton Rouge Regional, while Nebraska men's gymnastics is performing tonight in the Big Ten Championship at PBA. Nebraska will compete against Illinois, Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Bobby. Coming up next,
A look at some unique finds on campus.
and some final looks at the weather.
Stick with us.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about,
Actually, I don't know.
okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Huskers got a chance to score some unique finds right on campus Wednesday.
The Fleegee Vintage Market set up shop at the Union Plaza, hosted by Phi Gamma Delta and EZA Finds.
Fleegee is a traveling vintage market that visits college campuses across the country.
The organization has donated more than $53,000 to Phi Gamma Delta chapters nationwide. Stay tuned to find out when Fleegee is coming back to Lincoln, so you don't miss out. Spring is definitely in full swing with these constant weather changes we've been seeing in Nebraska.
Owen Snodgrass will have more for us. Owen?
Well, it was definitely meant to be a big weekend for sports here at Nebraska. We had both Husker baseball and softball playing at home. And take a look at the weather. Weather is not really cooperating the best. We got Friday cloudy and drizzle, making it pretty chilly. Saturday, temperatures will pick up, but those winds on Sunday and Saturday will bring those wind chills down quite a bit. And if I'm not mistaken, Bobby, we got those games postponed today, right?
Correct. Both games tonight have been postponed for softball and baseball. They will both play a doubleheader tomorrow. Softball straight doubleheader at 1 and then 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1, and then game 2 will be 30 minutes after that. And then for baseball, game 1 is starting at 2 o'clock still, and then game 2 will start at 6 o'clock.
I don't know about you guys. I'm just excited for the weather to finally start getting warmer again as we head into the spring season.
And not only the spring season, but also Easter for this weekend. Thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly.
Be sure to follow us on social media at Nebraska Nightly.
Our next live show is Tuesday at 4:45 p.m.
Have a great night.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.